I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about I really want a second chance. So when a relationship ends, our life can be completely put into perspective. Things that we had never thought before, things that we had never felt before or realized before can just come crashing down in front of us. And we can have feelings and thoughts that we never even realized were possible. We could find that we're really missing our ex, or we could be reminded of how difficult dating is and how much of a challenge it could be to find somebody that you're really connected with. We often see that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And, you maybe take a look at yourself in the relationship and how little you really did to make it work. How much or you did or you didn't do to make your partner happy. Sometimes you're in a situation where you did a lot to make your partner happy and they weren't happy. Sometimes you weren't even treating them well. Maybe you were disrespectful, even abusive, and they had to leave you. So one of the things that you need to consider is, do you even deserve a second chance? And you might want to think about, how did you treat your partner? What were the problems in the relationship? Why does your ex not want to be with you any longer? Are you just being selfish in trying to get them back? Maybe you've had a very dysfunctional relationship for years, you've mistreated them for years, and finally they said, I can't do this, I gotta move on with my life. They end it, and you selfishly want to be with them and keep them from moving on and going forward. And I think I have a good email for you guys today where you're going to see that the person that was broken up with acted pretty selfishly, and let me just get into the email. I think it's a good one, and I think it'll help you guys when you're really thinking about your situation. And a lot of you guys are saying, well, I want a second chance, I don't care, I don't care, but you do need to care. It's not all about you, it's about two people in a relationship, and being extremely selfish just to soothe your own anxiety, that's not good, and that's not healthy, and it's not okay to do that. Don't treat people like an object because you're anxious and you just want to soothe them to relieve your own anxiety. Okay? So the email is about a guy in his mid-20s, dated a woman in her early 20s. And he said, I'm contacting you in regards to a breakup I had with my girlfriend of 4 months. We met each other through Tinder, and we started talking in September, and about a month later, we went on our first date. I fell for her instantly when I saw her. We went on a few more dates and became official shortly later. We had such great chemistry, and she was really wanting to ask me to be her girlfriend. We were always together every weekend and texted one another nonstop with long hours on the phone, FaceTiming too. Well, I would say you've got to be careful, because a lot of times a relationship can burn out because you are texting too much, because it starts off really hot and intense, and then it burns out real fast because there's not a lot of substance that's been built. It's all this talk, non-stop texting. You're not going to build attraction through texting. You got to spend time with somebody in person to do that. So be aware of that. Okay? Alright, so he said, I would do anything for her and always wanted to create memories with her. Everything was going well and felt so amazing with her by my side. However, while we were going out, I did something wrong. Before I met the new girl I was dating, I was talking to this other girl over the summer. We had good conversations, but it just stopped one day. While I was starting to see the new girl, she randomly came back into my life, adding me on Snapchat. I accepted to see why, and she sent me snaps of her in bed in her bra and panties. Well, that's certainly going to get your attention, isn't it? Instead of blocking her, I responded back like "you're so hot," but added more such as "boy, I'd like to lick whipped cream off of you," going outrageous, sexting her. This happened before I became official with the other girl. Nonetheless, I carried on talking to the girl while dating the new girl. The conversations were just random conversations, and her always wanting me to hang out with her. I entertained the thought of doing stuff and throwing ideas out there, but never followed through. Well, on the new girl's birthday, she went through my phone while I was asleep. Ooh, you know this isn't going to be good. While it was not okay for her to go through your phone, she obviously knew something was going on. She saw the text messages and was devastated by it all. She was suspicious of why I'd never let her go on my snaps and confronted me, asking me if I was cheating on her. So she knew you were up to no good. And that tells me that this was going on while you were together. You made it seem like it stopped, but obviously it didn't, because you weren't letting her see the snaps. You're saying, oh, it was just meaningless, but come on. If it was meaningless, you wouldn't have been afraid for her to see those snaps. I said no because I had never thought of those messages to the other girl. It was just meaningless stuff. Not to her. And I'll bet that if she did that to you, you wouldn't feel like it was meaningless either. You need to think about it. You need to have empathy and put yourself in her shoes. I gave her space and sent her a personal letter of regret and got her to meet up with me in the end of January. We talked for an hour and she was still unsure how she could forgive me and trust me again. Well, I think that's a very valid point. Why would she forgive you and trust you again? If you're in the early stages of a relationship and it's supposed to be great and feel good and it's intense and you're already distracted by another girl, right? You're already thinking about another girl. The next day, I didn't tell her at all or text her at all, and she eventually sent me a message saying, "I hate you, and why are you ignoring me? Are you with the... Are you with that other girl?" I'll let you use your imagination on what she called her. Eventually, I called her back, and she told me it was over because she didn't trust me anymore, and it would be unhealthy because she'd always find a way to bring up the other girl, and how her whole family hates me for it now. Well, now you're in real trouble here, because now the whole family knows about what you've done. So this doesn't stay between you two. Now, in order to get her back, that means the entire family would have to consider what's going on. Oh, it's her decision, but she's obviously close enough to them where she told you what you did, told them what you did, so now they all know, and you have to look at them in the eye. That's not going to be easy to overcome, right? I've been devastated by it all, constantly thinking of her and wishing I never did what I did. Well, that's understandable, but you did do it, and now you're paying the price. Guys, there's consequences in relationships, and you think you're not going to get caught, you think you're going to get away with things. Eventually, you slip up, you get caught when you're doing something wrong. I went to church a lot, saying prayers, crying, and lighting candles, asking for guidance, and for her to see how sorry I am for it all. Well, you're only sorry because you got caught. Think about it. You weren't sorry while you were doing it. You didn't care that you were repeatedly talking to another girl that you had obviously more interest than you're letting on. You're only sorry because you were caught. She meant so much to me, and now seeing that I lost her kills me because she was more than my lover. She had become my best friend. Well, that is a little bit overdramatic. You only dated her for how long? Was it 4 months? Come on. You were only together for a couple of months and you're already saying she's your best friend. Alright, come on, man. I can understand that you really cared about her, but you're being very dramatic here. Lighting candles, praying that she's going to see how sorry you were, and she's your best friend, yet you didn't have a problem snapping that other girl and considering meeting up with her. So if this girl was really that important to you, you wouldn't have done that. Okay. I've tried to convince her to give me a second chance, and last saw her in the middle of February. She gave me back the stuff I got her and the tickets from the events we went to together. Ooh, she don't even want to think about you right now. She pretty much said I was dead to her. That's harsh. And she has no more emotions for me. Well, I don't know if that's true or not. If she is indifferent to you, then you're in trouble. But she does seem angry at you because she's saying you're dead to her. So it's a tough one. I tried my best to show her she can trust me again by giving her a promise ring and a 2-piece heart necklace that I got for us. Why do you think you're trustworthy again? Because you bought her a piece of jewelry? They're no way correlated. That just does not make any sense. Just because you paid for a piece of jewelry does not mean you've earned her trust or show that you're trustworthy. No. There's no correlation there. She denied it and pretty much was stone cold with her emotions and left me saying, "Leave her alone." Well, that's what you should do. Because you hurt her, you messed up, you have no right to come back into her life unless she comes to you first. Because you hurt this girl. And when you hurt somebody like this and they tell you you're dead to them, she doesn't want you in her life, you need to respect that. Because you've done enough damage and you should have enough empathy for her to say, you know what? I really hurt you bad. I can't make this up to you. I don't deserve another chance. If you want to give me one, I will show you, do everything that I can to show you that I'll change and that I'll be the man that you want me to be, but I completely understand why you don't want to give me another chance. I would do anything and fight feverishly to show her how much she means to me. However, I don't know if there's more hope seeing as she reactivated her Tinder account and is starting to see other guys. Ooh, I can only imagine that. You saw her on Tinder again, and then you go to swipe right, and you're like, please, dear God, no match. If that's the way you found out, you deserved it. Think about it. She had past trust issues, I wonder why, and had a difficult upbringing that she never told me much about, but promised herself she was not going to go through it again, and good for her. She said she wished wished were different and we'd still be together at one point. I wonder if she still feels that way because you can't get rid of your emotions that quickly if you really love them, like she said. What would you suggest from knowing about this whole situation? Well, I suggest you leave her alone. If she wants to come back into your life, then allow it to happen, obviously, if that's what you want. But you need to take a good hard look at how you act in relationships because you didn't show any integrity here. You know, you weren't officially in a relationship when you started talking to this girl, but, you know, were you leading her into that? Did she think you were? And the bottom line is, you were still continuing to talk to this girl who was obviously interested in you, trying to get you out, and you've been contemplating about it. She caught you. The way she caught you wasn't really fair, because she went through your phone, but you were doing something wrong. She caught you in the act. Leave her alone. Apologize. I highly suggest you watch my videos on how to communicate effectively because she's going to have a lot of anger and hostility to you, and you need to know how to deal with that because she's rightfully angry at you. And, well, you need to be able to handle that, and you need to know how to talk to her when she wants to talk to you about why she's upset at you, why she doesn't want you in her life. And like I said, I would say, you're right. I messed up really bad. And I don't deserve another chance. I don't deserve to be with you. And I know that. And I don't know what I could say or do to make it up for you. But I would do it if you just, you know, give me even a small opportunity. And I would tell her that she shouldn't trust you any more than what she's prepared to lose. So that way, she gets to determine how much trust or how little trust she wants to give you. And if she does decide to give you even a little bit of trust, you need to be happy with whatever it is and not push her. She needs to be able to move this along at her own pace because you were the one that violated the relationship. So, you're in a tough situation. I don't know if she's going to forgive you or not because she said she doesn't want you in her life right now. That could change. She sounds very angry and hurt still. So maybe she does still care about you. Then again, you got a lot of hurdles to climb, like the parents and the family and her forgiving you. So you need to think long and hard about the kind of man you want to be in a relationship. And, you know, don't make these mistakes again because they will come back to bite you. So, if you want to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. If you like this video, throw a thumbs up down there. I really appreciate that. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because I do post videos Monday through Friday. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.